Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tackle Chat. Thanks so much to each and everyone who tuned into our live show. It was really great having you online, sharing your rugby experiences, and also just some cultural chat. So here we are again with another episode of Tackle Talk Show, and with me, my co-presenter, as always, Alberic.
How's it, Danny? Yes. What a great experience going live for our first time. Looking forward to many more. Today we have another great guest on our show. A guy that's well known in the comedy circuits. Somebody that's been walked great stages, been on TV screens as well. And a guy that is a better beard than mine. Let's welcome Carl Weber.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Thanks for making time for us, man. Carl, you've been a comedian for quite a while now, and it's not something that you just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, I got a few jokes I want to tell, make people laugh." Was it something that came spontaneously, or was it something that took some time, for you to kind of work that art and kind of hone your skills?
Look, I'm a firm believer in comedians are born. You don't learn to become a comedian. You're born a funny guy. I was always the funny guy around the braai, cracking jokes and whatever. And I must say that was just the foundation for what I do today, because I learned very quickly that making your friends laugh around the braai is very different to making people laugh on the stage. It's very, very different. So it's always been there. I just kind of needed to mold it and hone it, and that's where I am today.
Carl, you hit the nail on the head. There's far more to becoming a professional comedian than just telling jokes around the braai fire. Do you recall that exact moment where you realized as an aspiring comedian that this thing might become a career? Do you recall that moment where the light actually went on and said, "Listen, I can make money out of this thing"?
You know what? I don't only just recall the moment, but I will never forget the moment. I was a young guy. I was in my early 20s, right? And I was in Bloemfontein. I was still living in Bloem, and I was at a place called Mystic Boer, right? And Mel Miller and Joe Parker were on stage. I've never met them before. I've never seen them before. And they were on stage at Mystic Boer. It's a rowdy pub. People going crazy. With friends were drinking, getting mad. And I was watching them do this thing. And I think I was the only person just standing and watching them. And I was amazed. And it was like a light bulb moment. It was like that aha moment. I was like, that's what I want to do. And I'll never, ever forget that moment.
Considering what you just said now, I mean, comedians speak about being on stage and having this kind of, zone that you're in. What does that zone feel like to you?
So it's not only for comedians. I mean, any sportsman, any artist, any entertainer, they have their zone. Like the surfer, it's that inside, the feeling of the inside of a wave. They can't describe it. A rugby player, a soccer player, that your first goal, your last goal, it's just a feeling that you can't describe. It's something that you're so passionate about, and then you kill it. And then that feeling of no amount of money in the world can replace that feeling. It's just amazing.
Wow.
So, Carl, I mean, you've obviously, been around the block. You've been on TV, you've been doing ads, etc. What has been your biggest highlight so far in your career?
Yeah. I've had so many highlights. Like I've had so many, like they just vary in levels. I think the biggest stage I played was to about 8,000 people. It was Grand Arena, and I was hosting a Group FM kind of Unite show or whatever, and I was the MC, and I did a bit of a comedy set. But my most memorable stages were sharing stages with Pablo Francisco, Luis Gola, all these big guys, Riyad Musa, and I mean even Mark Lottery, smaller stages, like the stage I shared with Mark. I'll never forget the best compliment. Actually, this is the highlight. of my whole career was when Mark Lottering, I was the MC, and I was about to bring him on. And as I was doing my little bit of a set, I came off stage, and as I got him, he told me something that will always stay with me. He says, Carl, you scare me because you're that good. And I'm like, yo, Mark Lottering was telling me that. So that is definitely, so it's not just the size of the stage, size of the audience, but I think it's moments, and that was definitely a highlight for me.
Carl, I'm a big fan, and I'm always intrigued by you and other comedians with the versatility and your ability to adapt to an audience, reading the audience, and then obviously changing your approach if needs be. You recently finished a gig at Good Hope FM, which is a radio station, and then you also do live gigs. Share the difference between the two, and how you are able to switch between, live radio, but also live and seeing the audience.
So yeah, radio is very different to live audiences. But like I say again, it's not just with comedy, but like with any professional sportsman or entertainer, just the talent is not enough. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of technique, it's a lot of learning, a lot of failure that will get you there. So eventually I walk into a room and I kind of almost can sense, okay, this is this kind of crowd. I can maybe do this, I do that. So in the first 15 minutes, I'm sussing out the crowd, and then I'll go and I know what to do. Radio, I get no feedback. I don't know what they're enjoying. So it has to be very generic. And kind of a week later, or 2 days later, you get the feedback from people. Then with enough time, okay, that's what radio wants. But it's vastly different. It's crazy. It's weird how weirdly different it is. Comedy on stage and comedy on radio.
And to that point, how did, I mean, your stint on radio, I mean, how did that help your publicity as a brand going forward as well?
Yeah, so I mean, just, so comedy is, I'm not saying it's not for young people, but young people don't generally like to sit down, have a meal and watch a comedy show. I love a joy, I love a party, they want to have a liquor time. It's usually an older generation, 30, 40, 50. But now with Good Hope being on Good Hope, younger people are now, hey, Carl Weber from Good Hope FM. Oh, he's a comedian, can we go watch his show? So that I've drawn a younger crowd also in. And this is not necessarily a comedy crowd, but I've converted those people into comedy people now.
Awesome. Carl, COVID-19 has affected everyone globally, and with you, it affected you right at home. You lost your in-laws. Must have been obviously a huge shock to the family, of course. But how did that? What impact did that have on you as a person? And also, you have these one-on-one conversations on Facebook and Facebook Live videos. How did that change your messaging in that time?
Yeah, so I think because people know me as a certain type of person on social media, they got to see a very different side to me. I wouldn't say more serious, but a more pensive side, more relaxed side, where I'm speaking facts and I'm really trying to put a message out there. We went through the toughest time. I decided to do a 14-day isolation video and take people through COVID. And I think it was about the third video, we lost my mother-in-law. And then by the fifth video, we lost my father-in-law. And then still we got people that said, he's doing this for attention, he's doing it. And really, honestly, it was the last thing I wanted. I realized how serious the situation was. And I thought, I do have a platform, and I'm going to use my platform to tell people how, I put all jokes aside. And I said, well, now, no more jokes now. Now I'm telling you guys what COVID is like and what it's like to live with. I mean, I was negative all throughout the 14 days. My wife was positive, and I saw what COVID did to our family and to my wife and to our brother. So I really wanted to put that message out there.
Carl, yeah, from our side, at Tackle, our sincere condolences and also just to thank you for coming onto the show. We've been reaching out to you to be on the show, and this is a story that was shared to us, and we really felt it with you as well, being our prospective guest, but the situation that you and your family found yourself in, that you actually tonight decided to come onto our show. But from our side, Strongs and we hope that you will obviously find a light at the end of this dark tunnel.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Aini, I think, I mean, it's about being positive, you know, in the midst of what was going on. You the situation, and you turn it into a positive message for other people. It certainly made people sit up and look, whoa, this is not like it's affecting somebody else. It's right here. It's right in our neighborhoods. So yeah, from our side, all the best, man. But yeah,
I've launched a new T-shirt, cap and buff brand called Miracle Child Survivor, and it's also stemmed out of this whole thing of, you know, from COVID. So I believe that where we are as a country, where we are as communities, where we are as family and friends, if we have made it to September 2020, you are a miracle child. We are miracle kids to survive, have survived till now. So that's my brand that I'm pushing out now. I'm selling T-shirts, I'm selling buffs, I'm selling caps. So support local, Echoes local.
Great stuff, man.
Love it.
Carl, apart from comedy, you also support small businesses through marketing and using your platforms to create awareness. Tell us a bit more about that venture.
Yeah, so I think it's all interlinked in each other. My support, I've always supported small business and local business kind of from afar. Like you always say, yeah, we must support. But then I realized how many people were affected by COVID, how many people lost their livelihoods, their jobs, their incomes. And it was people I knew, it was friends, it was family. My sister-in-law was affected, she lost her job. Two of my sister-in-laws, my wife. So then I realized, but these people that are being retrenched, there is a silver lining behind it. They started their own business from home, but now they don't have a fan base or they don't have clientele. So once again, I jumped on my social medias and I told the guys, send me product, I will punt for you. And I refused. I said, I'm not taking, look, we're all in the same boat, right? Well, we're not in the same boat, we're in the same ocean. Some people's boats are bigger than others. But I mean, I said, I'm going to punt for you. Give me your burger, give me your this, give me your that, whatever product, I'll do it for free. And I started making 2-minute, 3-minute videos, punting people's businesses. And it's just people be inboxing, please can you punt this, please can you punt that. Then I realized the need, that we need to support each other. Like really, there's such a need. And now I'm fully local. Like I will just support local, you know.
Yes, and obviously with, I mean, besides, you know, small businesses, the events industry has also been hit. You know, a lot of actors and other artists and like comedians like yourself. And you know, there's obviously been this move to do stuff virtually, and you've just done your first virtual show. How's that experience been for you? And are you looking to do more of that kind of thing forward?
You know what, that experience was, it was so difficult. It was so tough. I basically had to write a new show because now it's a different crowd. It's a crowd, once again, that I can't see. Once again, that I can't hear. So I don't know what's working and I don't know what's not working. So I wrote a new show and I called it Convey Stories with Uncle Cliffy. And I'm sad to say that the support wasn't there. So when I was supporting locals and pushing people, and then it almost felt like it wasn't returned because my sales were very low. And I was kind of, you know, down about it. And then my wife just said, you know, just keep doing it, keep doing it. I mean, Kevin Hart only blew up 19 years into the game. So I guess I'm still a youngster, but I keep telling people, just keep supporting everyone, you know. But virtual is tough. Virtual is difficult. We've had to, because the experience is very different. And you now coming into people's home and they're watching you from their laptops, their smartphones, their smart TVs. And so the whole experience is different. And price points had to come down by half. So my show was 50 Rand, a couple of other guys was 60 Rand, even Mark's show was 70 Rand, which is very cheap. But then, I mean, it's 50 Rand for a household. So if you're 6 people in the house, it's 50 Rand divided by 6, and you're only getting a full-hour show. And still, I got people inboxing me for comps and can I get free tickets? I even know people that they were sharing links. And I was just like, it's such a struggle because the past 5 months, I haven't been working either. And I tell people like, you know, it's just 50 Rand a household. And that would mean so much to me if you guys supported me. But it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell.
You've obviously introduced other characters to the Uncle Cliffy brand. That in itself was a platform that you're creating for other, up and coming artists or up and coming, characters or people that want to make a move in the industry. How is that? Do you see that something that you'll, possibly do in the future again, that you'll bring in those characters, that you'll be able to create that kind of platform like you do with SMMEs?
For sure, definitely. Thing is, it's like, so the idea behind Convey Stories was not to be a stand-up comedy show. I wanted to be kind of a Mark Lust kind of vibe, just, your uncle sitting, telling you stories, with a lekker ou rooi wijntjie, and that was the idea behind it, man, and then I decided to give my wife, Uncle Cliffy's wife, a face, a person. And then, because everybody's been hearing about Auntie Doreen, and then they eventually got to meet her. And Cliffy's always telling you about his best friend Basil, and then you got to meet Basil. So that story, and Uncle Cliffy is growing into kind of a production, and that's where I want to go with it. Eventually have a full-on production with it, and kind of be half storytelling, half stand-up comedy. But yeah, that Cliffy is very different to Carl Weber. He's very different. He's an alter ego. So the challenge for me there was to write comedy for them, and not for Carl or Cliffy. So now I'm trying to get my head around what would Auntie Doreen's quirks and funny things be? What would Basil's fun? So I'm writing in different personalities all the time. Even when I write for Cliffy, I write in a different mindset. I write as a 62-year-old uncle. When I write for Carl, I'm a 43-year-old guy. When I write for Basil, he's a 60-year-old. Auntie Doreen is in her 60s, female, church-going, bingo playing, lasagna making auntie. So I write in different personalities.
You could just deduct the level of skill and it requires to make a success. This is a professional comedian on our show telling us what it really takes to make it sustainable in this industry. And like any business, everybody tells you how good you are, totdat jy vir hulle kwotasie gee en sê dit is wat my services cost. Dan, and this is the business, you're good enough, just make the jokes around the fire, tree op by die verniet goedjies, then you're brilliant. All of a sudden you say, guys, you know what, at the giveaway price, 70 Rand, at Quicker, the idea was the deal. It's not that good. And this is, we need to start supporting our local people because they are world class. We've seen, we brag about Trevor Noah. We've got many top comedians in our country. And we need to say, you know what, if this guy can write as a different person, he's already more skillful than half of the population of this country. This is a highly skilled job. If you want to pay an engineer, if you want to pay a lawyer, pay to see these guys in action. They are top class entertainers, and the preparation that goes into a show, it's not hours and hours, it's months of prep that goes into a show to entertain us for 1 hour. I'm impressed, Carl. I'm buying each and every ticket that I can to just support you and all the other local artists going forward. That's a pledge from me personally.
And to add to that, you're going to sit in a show with Carl, you're going to laugh. You're going to sit with lawyers and other professionals, you're not going to laugh. So you get the bonus of laughing with Carl. So Carl, let's move to your acting career. You've had a stint in Arensvlei, and that character you played was the angry landlord, and a lot of people had a lot to say. What was the most surprising feedback from your fans regarding that role? And is that possibly another step for Carl Weber in his life's journey?
So yes, definitely another step. But as far as feedback from so once again, people see me in a very different light with my acting and on Arensvlei, especially the role I play, which is that of a landlord who puts a school kid out of his house and he puts him on the street, and he's a very abrasive, hard man, and he's got no patience, and so it's in such contrast to my comedy. And that's what I loved about it, because it's now a new challenge. I know now I can make people laugh, but can I make people angry? And I actually did. I got so many inboxes. En ek dink as ons mense wat so upset raak nou. They get upset, and I have to tell them it is a character. As if it's not a real person, and I have to tell them. And there's one woman, this auntie told me, Regina, as ek vir jou in die mall sien, jy moet pas op. And people were offering to pay the rent money for this kid, and I had to tell them, guys, this is just a character. And then some auntie said, hoe kan jy so harteloos wees? And then I just decided to answer in my character and say, ek soek my geld, ek soek my rentgeld. And she got so upset with me. But so that just tells me I think I did a good job. I pulled it off. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. Carl, without letting too much out, what's next for Carl Weber in the near foreseen future, and where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
So I definitely want. So just to lead into the question, no one in today's life, no matter what industry you are in, can be a purist. No one can be just one thing anymore. You have to kind of spread yourself out. You need to kind of become a jack of all trades. So that's why I ventured into acting. So there's definitely a lot on the cards. I can't say too much, but you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. There's something big on its way, and it's not going to make you laugh. And then, yeah, just in terms of comedy will always be my number one. My first love, the stage. I'd like to get into theater. I'd like to try some karaoke again, because I love karaoke, myself and Cliffy. Just kind of building myself, but then also putting back. And this is my passion now. It's become my passion, putting back into communities and getting involved in communities. And you can go to the big theaters all over Cape Town, but why not bring the theaters to the communities? Bring the talent. We are from the communities. Why are we taking our talent out? So for me, in the next 5 years, I'd like to get involved with a lot more community projects and uplifting kids and just giving them more avenues. A lot of our parents said, no, you must faster work, you must get a good job or whatever. But there's so many options in the arts, and that's just what I want to show our kids and our communities.
Fantastic, Carl. Carl, I mean, wow, what a story, and just following your journey over the last couple of years has been amazing. How you've gone through the trenches and being on the smaller stages to the bigger stages. So well done with that. That's fantastic, man. But how do you grow a nice beard, man? I mean, what are you using there, man?
Hulle sê hoender mis op die buitekant en jam op die binnekant. Die jam stoot en die hoender mis trek. That's what hulle sê.
You're struggling with that one.
Mine's just grey, man. Mine's done with now. It's turning grey now.
No, fantastic.
Mr. Carl Weber on Tackle Talk Show. Like our slogan says, we encourage a culture of recognition. And what better way to recognize one of South Africa's best comedians by saying thank you for the hard work he does, not only for himself, but for communities out there, supporting SMMEs, supporting local. What an honor and a pleasure to have Carl Weber on Tackle Talk Show, guys. Carl, amazing story, inspired us, and I'm pretty sure our viewers out there will certainly enjoy this episode. So go well, my friend. Hou die blinkkant bo letterlik en kom ons kyk vorentoe. South Africa can only benefit if we have more Carl Webers around. Go well and good luck.
Thank you very much, guys. It's a pleasure.
So yeah, Elberich, there we have at the end of another episode with one of our best comedians, Carl Weber. I'm sure you enjoyed it as well.
Loved it. It was lekker tackle chat.
No, we enjoyed it from our side. Thanks a lot, Carl. Again, we really appreciate your time, and we just see great things for you. And yeah, all the best. We're gonna be. I don't know how much this footage is gonna be worth in a couple of years' time. To have your face on it. So we're gonna cherish this, man. Until the time is right, we'll publish it. But thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
There we have it, guys. At Tackle Chat on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Until our next episode. Cheers.